All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on how you Israelite women don't make it easy to want to defend you, man. You don't make it easy to defend you all, because the things that you put your energy into, right, are almost always folly. And I came across this video here, right, with where T-Pain, the musician T-Pain, through a competition for women to be judged based on the size of their ass, to just put it in simple terms, man. Or if you want to put it in a scientific term, the size of their gluteus maximus, right? But they came to this competition to be objectified, right? And then I was thinking to myself, like, how many of these same women, right, if T-Pain through a competition to see who's the best cook, I wonder if these same women would show up if it through a competition to see who can be the best cook for their man, or who can be the most righteous woman in their moral code. I wonder how many of these same women would show up to a competition like that. And the sad truth about it is that the majority of the women that are in this video wouldn't have shown up, or in a situation where it was T-Pain throwing a competition like that, because T-Pain's a good musician and all that, and they like his music, maybe they would show up for him throwing that competition. But let's say that somebody threw a competition to see who can be the most humble and meek woman. I wonder how many of these Israelite women would show up, or would they think that that competition is a joke? Yet when it's a competition for them to be looked at in terms of only a sexual way, then they're all down for that competition, man. And there's like hundreds of different women on this video desiring to have their ass rated out of 10, right? And then the thing is, the majority of the women that I'm seeing on this thing anyway, that I saw in this thing anyway, a lot of them are obese, man. A lot of them are overweight. So even if their glutes happen to be big and their behind happens to be big, everything else is big to go with it, man, anyway. And this is the reason why Yahweh judged the Israelite woman in the first place anyway. And like damn near 90, well, or 100, damn near 100% of the women, let's say maybe 95% of the women have all got a weave, man, of the Israelite women. Because there are some non-Israelite women that was in this same thing as well, but the Israelite woman's always down to do anything that she can get glory about her physical. But when it comes to try and get glory for or praise for anything internal, she's never down for that. And that's why in Isaiah the 3rd chapter, Yahweh judged the Israelite woman. And I'm gonna get the scriptures, man. I'm gonna read it from my Bible, man. I'm gonna get it. 1 second. This is Isaiah chapter 3. The book of Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16. Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Now, if the Israelite woman is doing competitions like this now, in Babylon the Great, you think that the Israelite woman wasn't doing things like this in ancient Israel? You think she wasn't doing competitions, flexing, showing off her body back when she had it going on for real? You know what I mean? You think she wasn't even more arrogant? You think she wasn't extremely arrogant back then as well, when she had it going on, and when she didn't have to have a weave to have long hair, and when her hair was exactly how she wanted it to be? You think that she wasn't probably even more proud way back then? She was probably even way more proud back then, man. Who knows? You know what I mean? But then, you know what? According to prophecy, they're more proud now. Verse 17, therefore Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. And that's why it's being exposed that you Israelite women are not nowhere near as worthy of praise and like glory as what the world tells you are, man. All that the black woman is God stuff, that's gone down the pan, mate. People are realizing that you're not that. That was never true. All this love mommy this, love mommy that, and all of that, and just believe whatever the mom says, and the black woman as a mom is never wrong. she's not at fault, and it's always the dad's fault if the child ends up being a failure. But then the mom's fault, the mom's to be praised if the child ends up being a success. That's gone. That's done away with, man. Verse 18. In the day that Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their cords and their round ties like the moon. And that's what these women are designed to see, man. They're trying to show how round it is, man. They're trying to show that the ting round. You know what I mean? That's what this whole big excuse me, big booty pageant is about. They're trying to show how round the ting is, man. You know what I mean? That's what they're trying to show. But then here's the thing. How many times has the ting been around for different men out there? You know what I mean? They literally showed up to this building to get this, and I don't know what they're gonna win based off this. But the overall point is that they came there to just have their waist measured and have their hip to glute ratio measured, right? To have a glory in their physical. But if they was to get set up to have a glory in how righteous they are as a woman, according to Proverbs, the 31st chapter, you wouldn't see some of these same women show up. They'd be like, I ain't got time for all that. I ain't got time for all that. You know how Judah Eve talks, man. And then the wicked Benjamite woman as well, man. She's probably the top contender of being a demon on the earth. To be honest with you, the Benjamite woman might be worse than Judah. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when you read the scriptures, there was a time where all the women from the tribe of Benjamin didn't even exist no more, man. There was a time where every single Benjamite woman didn't even exist. That was exterminated in a war between the Israelites, man. Let me read this. Verse 19, verse 18 again. In that day, Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their cords and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers. And with these women in this competition, they're wearing all different kind of jewelry. They got on nail varnished nails and all this kind of stuff. They're wearing all these different things to beautify themselves, man. They got chains on. I'm looking at it right now on another screen, on a TV screen. They got chains on, you know. They got heels on that would click and clack about their feet. They got sequins on their dresses that make the dresses sparkle and all kinds of different stuff, right? They're showing out, right? Their pride and how much they're feeling themselves is elevated to the heavens, you know. But if these same women got asked to do a competition to show how close they match Proverbs 31 and verse 10 to the continuing in the rest of the scriptures that are about women, I bet they wouldn't be down for that. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be down to do that part. You see what I mean? Verse 20. In fact, verse 19 again. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings. They've got earrings on. The women that I'm seeing, they've got earrings on as well. Right? They all got it. Pretty much all of them have got some type of earring in their ear. Let me just see when it changes over. Right? And people, if they want to see what's happening in the video, they can go for themselves. But I'm telling you, man, some of these women, like there's one woman right now that I'm seeing on the screen in a red dress, and she looks like she ate Ice Spice, mate. She's obese. She's easily like 300 pounds. And then she's got the nerve to show up there to get rated for having a big bum, right? But her belly's she's got a bum on the front as well, mate. You know what I mean? Like it's the level of pride that the Israelite woman has, even when she's not in shape, is ridiculous, man. It's truly ridiculous. You know what I mean? There's literally no other woman really that does that. No other woman when they're obese among our people, among like women, is as proud as the Israelite woman when she's obese, man. It's ridiculous. Verse 21. The rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And it's funny that T-Pain, I think, when they brought this midget on the stage, but yeah, there's a midget involved in this too. They brought a midget on the stage, or a short person, whatever you want to say, and he made a joke saying, what are you gonna do? A smell test? You know what I mean? And the thing is, if they did do a smell test, which was a joke that he made, but if they did do a smell test, like, they wouldn't pass with flying colors more than likely, man. That's the thing about it. You know what I mean? But the Israelite woman is always down to be praised for some folly about what she looks like, right? She'll always say, oh, the reason why I'm doing this cosmetic surgery or that cosmetic surgery is because the men like it, right? Because men want it to be done like that. Men want this and men want that. Which a lot of the things that they change about themselves are not things that men even care about. Men don't care about a woman's eyebrows like how women care about a woman's eyebrows. As long as she's got 2 eyebrows, right, instead of 1 eyebrow, or instead of 0 eyebrows, men really don't give a damn about none of that. Men don't really care about whether a woman's eyelashes are like, and all of these different things, man. We don't really care about all of that. That's things that women look at other women about and judge among themselves based off that, man. But when a man says that there's personality traits that they don't like about the Israelite woman, then all of a sudden, like, nah, I don't gotta listen to what you say. I ain't gotta listen to anything that you say. You can't tell me, you ain't my daddy, you ain't this, you ain't that. Verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle a rent, and instead of well set hair boldness, and instead of a stomacher a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. And I'm telling you, if you look at this, if any of you brothers decide to watch some of this video, you'll see that the women, a large percentage of them are obese, man. Now, some people can come with that, oh, I'm thick stuff and I'm this and I'm that. I mean, listen, man, if you were to check their body fat percentages and the BMIs and all of that, you're going to see that they're overweight. And even some of us as brothers, we're overweight too. But the Israelite woman is way more overweight for the most part than the Israelite man. The Israelite man, if you go to gyms around the world, right, you're going to see Israelite men in there getting it in. Or you might see Israelite men jogging down the street, or you might see Israelite men going for walks and stuff like that, taking part in exercise. But the Israelite woman really don't do that, man. She ain't about that. Now, that's not to say that there ain't no Israelite women that are professional athletes and stuff like that, but I'm on about as far as casually goes, as far as for recreational or just casual doing of exercise, for the most part, the Israelite woman ain't with all that. She's not with all that, man, but you'll catch her in a nail salon, though. You'll catch her in a nail salon. You'll catch her twerking on a car in traffic. You know what I mean? You'll catch her just talking outlandish. You'll catch her just doing that Eve chant. Hey, hey, hey. You'll catch her doing all that. But as far as catching her on the treadmill in the gym, mate, that's like seeing a unicorn, mate. To see an Israelite woman doing exercise. And people might say, oh, you guys just hate the black woman, man. Listen, man. If something's true, you gotta say it. The Israelite woman loves talking about how the Israelite man's broke, right? Even though she's broke her damn self. But they don't mind talking about things about us. If an Israelite man's bold, they don't mind telling him that he can't grow hair when that's something that he physically can't do anymore. You see what I mean? But her and being overweight is something that she can change about herself. But she don't want to change it, man, because she thinks that she's above judgment, she's above rebuke. And then they don't ever make it easy for you to defend them anyway, because every single time you start thinking, you know what, maybe we're being a bit too harsh, man, on the Israelite woman. You know what I mean? Maybe let's have some mercy on her and think, oh, you know what, that's messed up what happened to her. Then you end up realizing and end up seeing the reasons. You're like, hang on, maybe I've defended somebody that didn't deserve to be defended, man. Like with this whole thing with this shooting of that lady, man. Right? And then you're hearing about how, oh, there's a pot of water, right? And then you're thinking, oh, why did that cop do this and cop do that? But then when you start watching other videos, you're seeing, hang on, she had that pot over her shoulder at one point. And if you freeze frame, she had the pot over her shoulder, and it looked like she was going to try and throw the pot. You see what I mean? So you can't even defend the Israelite woman, man. And then you watch these police videos, and you see her getting arrested for stealing and all this kind of stuff. You hear about the madness that she's doing in Dubai, being a damn Dubai porter thingy, man. You know what I mean? She's in Dubai doing a madness. And then the thing with that whole Dubai thing is I saw some Israelite women on the comments board of some of the videos about that kind of topics having the nerve to say, oh man, this is so sad that no one's going to stand up and defend these poor women that are doing these things, they're just doing it to have a better life. Listen, man, them women are doing that stuff to stunt on people, man. They're doing that to flex. They'll go over to them countries, and if they can get that money, and their money actually gets given to them like it was promised to be, right, and then they can come back over to whichever country they're originally from and make out like they never did none of that stuff. They're going to be stunting on men and women, telling them that they ain't nothing, even though they had to do that, like, do bockery in order to get that stuff, man. But they ain't gonna remember that. They'll try and forget that they did that and try and stunt, man, and try and be calling people broke. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, you women are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. So the time's gonna come where it ain't gonna matter how big your glutes are, man. People ain't gonna throw a competition that you women can come and get free into a club and that and just get gloried over and have all men longing their tongue out after you. Oh wow, look at the size of that. Wow, what, mate. People ain't gonna, when people's bellies get full, they ain't gonna care about none of that, man. They ain't gonna care about none of that stuff. And most of these women that I'm seeing on the screen, I'm telling you, man, they don't look like they could run for 1 minute non-stop if they had to get away from some chaos. Most of them are obese. A large portion of them are overweight, really. So them having a big this and a big that don't mean nothing because everything's big. You know what I mean? Like, everything's big. Like, they've all got weaves. And this is a curse that Yahweh put on them because of their attitude. But rather than humble down, they've gone even worse, and they're designed to just be gloried for their physical. Verse Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 11. Tremble, you women are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the present fears, for the fruitful vine. They're going to be trying to remember when they could have competitions like this, and get glory and get medals for how big their glutes are, man. Which that's why this whole BBL stupidness is going on anyway, man. And you've got women walking around with some stick thin legs and some glutes that look like they belong on a woman that's about 4 or 5 stone heavier. It's ridiculous. And then they'll actually try and make out like there's something special because of that. They'll make out like they're better than another woman now because of that. Because she didn't have 5 grand to get her fat in her body moved from one place in her body to another place in her body. And then the madness of all this cosmetic surgery stuff has even trickled onto men, because you've got this one guy, Bandman Kevo, that he's went from being 5'8" apparently to being 6'8" now. You know what I mean? And he even said he got a damn BBL. So even the men ain't exempt from all of this madness as well. They're doing some of this stupidness too. Even the men are getting weaves and getting like their hairline dyed and all that kind of stuff. I can't grow hair no more like I used to when I was younger. You know what I mean? My hair, I don't really really have what you would call a hairline. You know what I mean? So there's ways around that for a man. You cut your hair off. You know what I mean? You cut your hair often, or you just grow it and let it show like what it shows, man. Because when all hell breaks loose anyway, if you're a brother that's bold, guess what, man? You might not have the time to top up your hair by cutting it off. So we're gonna be looking crazy as hell out there anyway. Brothers that are bold and we don't have hair, we're gonna look crazy as hell out there anyway. When we can't cut our hair and it just ends up growing out, man. It's gonna end up looking crazy anyway. Everyone's gonna be looking crazy, especially these Israelite women that have been doing the most to try and cover up the curse that Yahweh put on them. That's in Isaiah the 3rd chapter, right? They're gonna be really looking bad out here, man. Now, when you go to Isaiah the 3rd chapter and the 24th verse, which I'm going to read again, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink; instead of a girdler, a rent; and instead of well set hair, boldness; and instead of a stomacher, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth; and burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy might in the war. Because all the men that allow you women to be gloried about for all of these things, right? Like the guys that threw this competition, they ain't making it more than likely. You know what I mean? All the people that are like there throwing these competitions that you women can get on stage, swivel yourself round, walk down a one walk, swivel one hip to one way, swivel one hip to the other way, have your earrings on, have your tattooed up back, you know what I mean? And just get gloried for how you look. Them men ain't gonna make it, man. That's not the kind of man that Yahweh wants to be the foundation of the nation of Israel that he's been foreknown, that he foreknew he was gonna create, man. Verse 26. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. So when all of those men that used to give her praise for all of these things, so that she could glory in herself and would lie and say, oh, the black woman's God, right? When they're no longer around, you women are gonna have to deal with who you really are, man. Because you're gonna struggle to find a sucker to just do whatever you want him to do. And you're already struggling to do that, man, which is the reason why I personally believe so many Israelite women are bugging out here. And I haven't did a video on new Israelite women for a while, man, right? But it's difficult not to sometimes, because the Israelite women make it difficult to defend them, and they make it difficult to not want to say anything about them. Like with that whole Sonia Massey thing, I actually thought, oh man, that was messed up. But then now I'm seeing other things and I'm like, hang on. It's looking a bit suspicious, mate. You know what I mean? And the cop's still a demon anyway. The cop's still a demon either way it goes. Because he told her to get something, and then when she gets it, he's like all spazzing out. But either way it goes, the whole situation was demonic as hell anyway, man. You know what I mean? And it went left as soon as she called on that Cesare Borgia name, man. You know what I mean? As soon as she called on that J. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take our approach. So all you women that think that you're just so glorious and that the man's got to bow down to you, and that you're supposed to have your roster of men, and that you keep one man in the chamber, and you keep one man in your house, another man on the side, and you always keep one in the chamber. You know what I mean? All you men that talk all of that, your pride is gonna be humbled, man. And it don't matter how good you look, man. It don't matter how good you men look, because some of the women on this thing, they will look good. Some of the women on this competition thing, they do look good. But so what, man? You know what I mean? That when all hell breaks loose, none of that stuff's gonna matter. It's not gonna matter for you to be getting glory and praised for what you look like in that time, man. That's gonna end. You know what I mean? And you're gonna realize that men are more valuable than you. That's what you're gonna realize. And all the women that don't want to be in the mentality of Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1, which I'll read again. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take our approach. All the men that don't want to be in that mindset, well, there's another mindset that the scriptures prophesy that women are going to be in as well, right? There's women that are going to be the enemies of the men that are going to make it in that time. And let's see what the mindset that they're prophesied to have is going to be, and what's going to happen to them. Because some of the women ain't going to be wanted anyway. Micah chapter 7 and verse 10. Then she that, in fact, verse 8, rejoice not against me. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is mine enemy shall see, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the street. So no matter how much women are being gloried in right now and praised for all of these things, it's running thin, man. And the only thing that the Israelite woman ever seems to want to be praised for, or ever seems to care to actually prove her worth in, seems to be physical things all the time, man. You know what I mean? But when it comes to actual like deep things and depth of character, she doesn't really care for that, man. You know what I mean? She don't really care for that. And that's why you had that German woman that came out and said that the Israelite woman wasn't no competition for her when she was trying to get a man that she liked. She said that that there wasn't no competition. The Israelite woman basically said the so-called black woman weren't no competition. You know what I mean? Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10, who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies. And the so-called black woman, I'll say this, man, the so-called black woman closely matches all the feminine scriptures. And by feminine scriptures, I mean all the scriptures that it mentions about women. The so-called black woman matches those scriptures more closely than any other woman on the earth, man, including the Latino woman and the Native American woman, because the so-called black woman's from especially the tribe of Judah, which is the head tribe, right? But when it goes to when it says in the scriptures, who can find a virtuous woman for a price is far above rubies, if it was possible, right, to find a woman if you was to pick which woman, you could say, okay, this is going to be the best woman that I'm going to be able to find. If you can find the best women out of a particular nation and tribe, then you would have to, if you're telling the truth, say that the best woman of any tribe would be a woman from the tribe of Judah. If you could find a high quality woman from this nation and tribe, it would be from the tribe of Judah. But then at the same time, if you was to find a woman that's the biggest demon, then it's going to be an Israelite woman. You know what I mean? So all the scriptures that speak about how evil women are, you can see that within the Israelite women, man. But then the scriptures, if it talks about if you could find a good woman among it, then if you was to be able to find an extremely beautiful woman that's meek and humble and stuff like that, it would be more glorious to find it among an Israelite woman than among any other nation of women, man. It would be. But how rare is that going to be? And I'm telling you, like when I'm looking at this thing on the screen, man, a lot of these women that are designed to be gloried on their glutes and all of this stuff, they're obese, a lot of them, man. Like they're seriously, I'm not just saying it because I'm hating. They're actually overweight, bro. You know what I mean? They weigh more than me. And I don't think that I'm a particularly big guy. And I don't think I'm small neither. You know what I mean? But they easily are weighing over 200 pounds, a lot of these women. Easily. But yeah, I've made the point, man. I'm going to end this video there, man. The Israelite woman is only ever desirous to be gloried in her physical, man. And she makes it very difficult to defend her, man. Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.